I'm coming for that Floyd Mayweather, what is it, Logan Paul shit?
Yo, did you see that? You know who Chaser Apparel is? Brittany Fleeting, her little brother's.
The Chasers?
Yeah, Chaser Apparel or whatever.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Bruh,
Yeah.
Rick Ross was wearing their shorts today while training.
Wait, that nigga? Listen, if anybody wants to give the nigga that asked the question, if anybody wants to give us any apparel, we're about to blow, and it is June 4th, 2021. Mark my words. Remember that I said that now, because if you don't get us with us now, you're gonna regret it.
Facts.
Like Coca-Cola with the Marriott.
Yeah, so I don't know what that means, but that shit sounds fucking great. So, with all that being said, welcome to another episode of the How'd I Get Here podcast, the podcast for positivity, progression, and finding our own path. I'm sitting here, you guys know me, co-host Jake.
Co-host Spencer.
God damn it, Spencer! I thought we had... listen, we're going to get that down pat by the end of the season. I pinky promise y'all. But yeah, we sitting here on another fine Friday evening. I appreciate Spencer saying, hey, let's schedule these on Friday so my drinking habits slow down. I'm a retired professional athlete. I can drink. Shut the fuck up.
I thought you could say you're a retired professional drinker. I was like, retired?
No, I'm in my prime. But
yeah, right?
before we get carried away, as we so often like to do, let's introduce our guests for today and then dive into things.
Bo.
How y'all doing, people?
Does everyone know you by Bo?
No, so I was gonna use my real name.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
Nah. So everyone knows me as Bo. My real name is Jamyle, Jhmyle, for those who are wondering how to spell that. Last name Crocker, and I am one of the owners of Last of Our Kind clothing brand. Last of Our Kind, limits undefined. So.
Ooh, how long did it take you to practice that and get that?
Yeah, that was a dope.
Trust me, I was saying that in my sleep, undefined. So it takes time.
Just so you know, there's another camera up there too.
Oh, what up, peoples from
You know?
Yeah,
From
but
the Himalayas.
Yeah, just talk to us. We got ankles. Yeah,
Ankles?
Listen,
Gotta hit them ankles.
after whatever. How's everybody's week going? What's up? I think my voice just cracked. I'm hitting puberty and shit. What up?
How my week?
Yeah, how's your week? What's up?
My week is pretty good. I enjoyed. I work Monday through Friday, so just enjoying my clothing brand. I also am a manager at UPS in Windsor, so I hire certain people. We pretty much process mail, certain things like that.
You guys hiring right now?
Yes, we are hiring right now.
Hey, anybody,
right now.
y'all do drug tests?
What's a drug test?
Okay, so listen, anybody that needs a job that can pass that drug test, hit my man up, slide in his DMs, and buy a fucking shirt.
We got
so, today's topic is motivation.
Hold on. Before we get into it,
Go ahead.
I have a question that's completely off topic, but I wanted to start the episode with it.
Okay.
So this is in terms of dating, right? Ooh. So it's Pride Month, and my friends and I, we were having a conversation today. And basically, my boy got bamboozled via Bumble. And he was talking to somebody for about a month. And come to find out, the day that they were supposed to meet, she wasn't who he said she was. I don't know how to say that properly. But basically, my question is, if you are trans, and there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. So if you're trans and you're pursuing someone of the opposite sex from your born sex, when do you think that should be discussed in the dating process?
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I would actually like to next week have an episode to celebrate Pride Month.
Yeah, oh, wow. That'd be dope.
That would be dope to just sit down and have a panel. I mean, I don't want to say panel, but a group of people to just politic, because I feel like that's something that, especially in 2021, should be more normalized.
Yeah.
And people should be comfortable in their skin and be comfortable like, hey, I am who I am. And that question is very important. I've got a funny story. Ooh. Before we dive into what we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
So when I was living in Spain, we had won like the biggest game of our season, right?
Okay.
And I was in the club. We were faded. Faded. And this chick, she was fine, right? And I walk in the club and she like touched my chin like that, and I was like, ooh.
She know that's my spot.
She wants me. I was 23 years old. You couldn't tell me shit. And she walked by, did a little thing, and then she walked back, and we started dancing together, right? And I continued to say I was faded. And we was probably dancing together for like 15 minutes, and we were talking. And when I was living overseas, if I ever told anybody that I lived in Connecticut, they'd be like, yo, where's that? And I'd be like, New York. And they'd be like, oh, New York, I know New York. I'm there. So I was just telling everybody that I fucking was from New York.
Yeah.
Lying like a motherfucker.
So much easier.
Yeah, you know we don't. Yeah, you know we don't really fuck with New York and shit, anyways. But so we 4 for 4.
I thought we loved the Bronx.
4 for 4. Throw up the Wendy's early, 6 minutes into the episode this week. But yeah, so meanwhile I'm dancing with the girl, and to this day I still don't know, but drunk Jake Joel, that's my alter ego, heard "soy hombre," which in Spanish means I'm a man.
Oh,
right. But like in the club, 23-year-old Jake was like, I was like, hold on. Oh. And like she just like looked at me. To this day I still could be wrong. And now like 28-year-old Jakes wish I would have like at least responded differently. Not even figured out, but like more so responded differently out of respect. You know what I mean? Just out of the fact that it's like, who knows how, one, I could have heard the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Right? Two, say that is what I heard, who knows how that person would have responded.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
That's got to be tough.
right. So older me wishes that like I would have responded a little differently. I went and took a round of shots and went straight to the bar, but like that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so that's just my thing. But that's a great question, and we'll definitely try to set that up for next week. But if not, before the end of the month of June, get a Pride episode just to celebrate.
I mean, you're not about to skate by and not answer this question, though. So,
My bad.
so like, if you're talking to somebody, when do you think you would want to know? And I know you damn near a married man, but just act like.
No, I'll give my honest opinion.
Yeah.
So I'll let y'all.
For me, it's actually happened where like I've met people on like dating apps and they tell me off the jump, and I appreciate that more so because we're not wasting time.
Right.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And I tell them straight up like, hey, you know, I appreciate your honesty. I'm just not into that. Like, good, not good luck. I don't want to say it like that, but like, you know, I hope you, whatever. But I hope it happens sooner than later.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I'll piggyback. I honestly feel like they should try to keep it a stack. I feel like the longer they wait, it's going to get more messier. It's just going to get messier and messier and messier because they're going to feel like, I would feel like if I was going to like you from the beginning, you could have just said something. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning.
Right, that's a fact.
But now I feel like someone's gonna feel like they got finessed, and then they're gonna resent them more than what they could have done in the beginning. So now I feel like if you just kept it a stack, put everything on the table, if they love you, they're gonna love you regardless.
For who you are,
Exactly.
That's a fact.
So that's how I look at it.
Word. No, that's a great question to start. I don't know if you want to hit on that before we move on. Or...
Oh yeah, I feel the same. So I feel the same way. I also understand the opposite. It's like I kind of want to show you that I'm a dope person, dope individual. We do vibe, and then kind of bring it up down the road. I would not like that, but I get it. You know, like it's got to be tough. It's got to be.
Let's save some of that for the conversation.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because
That's cool.
that's a real dope topic.
We're going to a Dave Chappelle segment.
Oh man,
You might get the opposite.
he said cancel. Oh no. But yeah. So today we're talking about motivation and accountability, and I think this is such a dope topic because we're sitting at this table with 3 entrepreneurs. And 3 people that are really trying to just get it. You know what I mean? And
From scratch.
to be fair, this was Spencer's idea, so I don't like want to be like, oh, hey, this was all me. But when you hear motivation and accountability, as general as this things, what's the first? Don't worry, the mic ain't gonna pick them up. Yeah, don't worry.
Make sure.
When you guys first hear motivation and accountability, what's the first thoughts or definitions that come to mind? And whoever, time out. Before we get to that question, talk your shit about your clothes.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like we hit on that and then we got like away from it. Talk your shit before we hop into that question. I'll bring it back.
All right, say less. So at Last of Our Kind, we got 2 different type of shirts. We got the stitch shirt that we got embroidered by myself and my fiance. So we do this all from the house.
By
just
hand.
From the machine, by hand. Make sure that every stitch is with love. We also have these shirts, which we have the patchwork with our logo, Last of Our Kind, so people see look on there. And then the back of the shirt.
That patch is dope too. That rubber patch.
Absolutely. Listen, these patches, soon enough, I'm going to have patches that are keychains, patches that are like a little bit everything, not just on shirts, but we're going to put them everywhere. Stickers, different things like that. We're going to have patches on shorts soon. Last of Our Kind shorts. We only got black and blue. LastofOurKind.shop. If y'all are interested, we have everything on sale for the month of June.
And we're gonna put the
all on sale.
The link in the episode.
Hit that bio.
Where did you come up with the idea? What's the meaning behind Last of Our Kind? What's up with that?
So I always pretty honest with this. One day I was chilling with my boy Scotty. Shout out to Reconnect Clothing.
And we gotta get him on the show. Me and him tried to connect a couple times, but that nigga's everywhere, every other week. Respectfully, he's grinding. So yeah, that's a fact.
So I got the whole idea from my boy at Reconnect Clothing, Scotty Dulaire. Pretty much we were just chilling in the basement one day, and he got the idea of starting his own clothing line. So at first he wasn't going to be able to have the clothing line, so I was going to be the face of his clothing line so people didn't know it was his. But then he kind of talked me into, he's like, well, I have one and you have one. And I'm like, that's not a bad idea. And so I sat down, think of a name. I'm like, I want something that's going to resonate with people and something that people don't even like hear, something that's brand new, unique, something so different. So when I seen Last of Our Kind, I want to be the last of our kind. No one's like my clothing brand. No one's like me. No one's like my people.
One and done.
One and done. So you'll never see something like this. And
so talk about your definition, and this is why we opened up to all three of us. The definition of motivation and accountability, especially when being an entrepreneur, that can be tough.
Yes.
Because it's easy to get sidetracked. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get discouraged. So maybe speak on what motivated you to start and keep going, and how you hold yourself accountable, and then we'll just
how you stay motivated.
Absolutely. Yo, see that's a whole nother in itself. So getting motivated, the first part, I would say being motivated means to me that you can get up out of your bed and go get it. You can wake up and something snap in your head, say, I got to do this because I have to do this. And I always heard a saying that said, do what you have to do now so you can do what you want to later. So that's my motivation, to where I can not work for anybody but myself. My family doesn't have to worry about any type of money. My family motivates me. My fiance motivates me. My friends, my peers, they motivate me to be better, because I feel like if I'm just slacking or I'm lacking, then what am I doing to make them better? What am I doing to make myself better? So I feel like motivation is what you make it to yourself.
So you have a strong circle, like community around you.
Yes. So
that's important.
That would be my motivation, I would say.
People around you, dope.
One of my biggest things, like when I was playing soccer and maybe sitting down, like thinking about this with y'all right now, and I don't know why I always felt this way. Maybe we could like dissect this. I always wanted to make the people around me proud.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
1,000.
For me, when my junior year, when we won the conference and went to the NCAA tournament and I got MVP of the game, like it meant more for me to hear my dad and my sister and all these people say like, I'm proud of you, than yo, Jake, you just did this. You know what I mean? And one of my motivations was always like grind to make everyone proud. And like for me, that's like, it was motivating to like do it. But then now that I'm saying it back, it's like, I don't know if that's a good motivational factor because that's like, was it extrinsic? It's like, it's outer.
So I think that's a powerful motivator. I think a lot of close families, they have that. I did not have that. Like that was not my. Yeah, I was gonna say baby's kids. So fun fact, my boy Bo is also babysitting on the. Never mind. But,
hey, my man Bo is killing it, and so are those children. But guess what? It'd be all right.
Yeah, he gonna be good.
We got good mics. We got a budget.
So I mean, I can answer why he's going. Yeah, so basically, I did not have that community. I mean, I definitely have loved ones around me who were like, they always told me from a young age, like, yo, you're just a go-getter. You live in your own world. Like, you kind of just do your own thing. Things work out for you because you just. My mom says I have a masochistic way of.
It's a big word. I like that.
She has a masochistic way of wanting to see success. So that's really been my motive. I want to have a big family. Right. My motivation is for my next generation, just to make sure they're well off. But it's interesting, and we can unpack that later. I've never cared what someone else thought.
So then you and I both have different upbringings.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think it might have been an anchor for me to latch my motivation or my drive to others' approval? You get what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know if it would be an anchor, but I feel like most people, from what I've seen, they want to make their parents and their family proud.
For sure.
Like, would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
That was never mine. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you missed it.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm sitting here like, ooh, I need something.
Yeah. So, like, my motivation has never been, just because my family love them to death.
Yeah.
But we love each other from a distance. Like, you know, I understand.
So that's one of my things is like your motivation was more like
internal
about you.
Yeah.
Versus for me, it was more about like, I don't give a fuck. And I think like that's still to this day how I live my life. I really don't give a fuck about me. Like if I got to give, and I think that's one of my flaws, but that's another conversation. Like if in your eyes I'm good or I'm successful, then that means I did something right. You know, and that you get what I'm trying to say? Like it's almost like I'm constantly trying to reach, I don't want to say the approval because I really don't give a fuck about what other people
affirmation.
think. Yeah.
You like affirmation, like you like, I mean, you're in sports, so you like when people, yo, good job. Good shit.
Right.
Like, you know, you balled out today. Yeah. For some reason, I've never cared. Like, it's cool when people say it. I don't receive compliments well. I'm kind of like weird.
Which is so interesting because of how you and I are in the gym. Are two very... Yeah. So, you was in sports.
Absolutely.
Actually, all three of us were.
Boys on my football team.
Yeah, all three of us are in sports, right?
3 student athletes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As an athlete, right?
Yes.
What was the better motivator for you? Someone that was like, all right, Bo, let's go. Let's get it. Da-da-da. Or was that more annoying and you just wanted to be left alone and grind on your own?
So I'm one of those, I'm very quiet on the field. On the field, on the court, on the track. I was one of those.
That's a fact.
I've
Bo
never
doesn't talk any shit on the field.
I'm one of those
Crazy.
silent killers. So I love hearing. I think what motivates me is people talking shit to me and me eating their words. Like, I really, I feel like when people are trying to hype me up, different stuff like that, every now and then it's cool, but it really don't do nothing for me. You know, I would, like you said, y'all can leave me alone. I'm going to ball out whether y'all screaming, whether y'all quiet, whatever y'all
do you
doing.
regardless.
Exactly. So I feel like everyone's different.
Jacob's a ball of energy, right? So we go to the same gym, get fit. We shout them out like
every episode. We 4-4.
Yeah, not even on purpose. It just happens. So, and me, when I'm in the gym, I openly say this, most of the time, I don't want to be there. It's all mental for me.
Yeah.
I go there because I know I need to go there. I need to be healthy, and I need to be healthy in order to accomplish what I need to accomplish in life, right? So when I'm there, it's like I'm hurting. I don't want to be here. I have Leanne yelling at me if I stop.
Yo, Lee, come on the show, bro.
Please.
Stop playing with us. Come on the show.
Yo, and we tagging her in this one, too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, this going to be part of the
2020. 2020. we go. I got you on that one. Come on the show, Lee.
Yeah, facts. So then you have Jacob, who's a ball of energy at 6 a.m.
Oh, boy.
6 o'clock in the morning.
6 a.m.
I love this game.
I remember when we was on the bus.
Oh,
yeah. 6 of them. I remember. I was like, yo, how is Jacob so up?
So he's always been annoying.
Like, listen, I accept this. I know that I'm annoying.
Oh
I know that. But go ahead, continue.
All right, so I'm in my head. I'm getting through the workout the way I get through, and then I have Jacob coming in, like, trying to hype me up, and I'm just like, yo,
shut the fuck up.
off, like, royally. But that's just not how. I'm not motivated by that. Like, I've only had one mentor in my life who's really understood how to get across to me. And that's another key point. Like, you should have a mentor.
Sure.
Like I said, I don't have anyone that I'm like working for that I want to like, I want to make them proud. But I have a mentor who always has my back and always has my best interest in mind.
Awesome.
So yeah, no.
Let me ask you a question based off what you just said. Excuse me. You just said you should have a mentor or someone that you're working for.
No.
Or phrase that how.
So you should have a mentor who's helping you grow and helping you better your craft. I was saying I don't have anyone I'm working for,
right?
But I have someone who's always helping me polish myself.
So to my point, should you have someone that you work for, or should you always be working for yourself?
That's a good one. I'll tackle that one. I would say you could flip the coin either way. I mean, I feel like it works differently for certain people.
Right.
I feel like if you're one of those that needs a little push, every now and then, you might need a little. I feel like we can all learn something from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like a mentor or somebody like that. I was also a mentor for kids from the age of 7 to 13, 14. So I get it. Some people just need that push and having a motivator, but some people, like we said before, they just go get it themselves. And sometimes you don't need a voice in your ear. If you are self-motivated and you know what you want and you know how to go get it, you don't need that extra person, because I feel like sometimes they might not mess you up, but they could mess up the mojo or the vibe you got going.
That's a fact.
So what if you, and that's a key point. So that's having, I would say that's the wrong person in your corner.
Yeah.
But say you had someone who just understood, no, this is what you want to accomplish. This is how you specifically work. I'm going to enhance that.
Right. I get what you're saying. Work to your strengths.
Do you think that would benefit you or yeah?
I mean, yeah. I feel like if I have somebody who understands me and knows how I tick, then absolutely. But if I have somebody who's just
generic,
do you know Coach Adrian? You know Adrian, right? Ball dude, right? So when I graduated, and right before I left to England, is when I met Adrian, right? And Adrian, this guy will take, as long as you're respectable to sport and to him, he'll take you under his wing.
Yes.
This guy does not. His nickname is Guru. That. Like this guy, he's trained any and everybody.
Yes.
Right.
Very established.
Wow.
When I first met him, I had a valet parking job, and he literally gave me his car to learn how to drive stick.
No, dope.
And while I was learning to drive, he was like, I hear you're a soccer player headed overseas. I'm a trainer. Come get with me, right? And our common ground was sport.
Okay.
His primary thing is track, but the common ground was sport, right? But maybe it's because how serious I took sports. I knew when I got with him, there was no talking back. There was no ifs, ands, or buts, that I was just focused because this guy wanted the best thing for me.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And I didn't feel the need to, when I was
anything.
Or I didn't need to prove.
I'm in good hands.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I say all that to say, one of the things about motivation is like when you're comfortable and you know you are where you're supposed to be, I feel it's like when you can push the most. Because when I would train with him, I was vulnerable. Some of the workouts this guy would put me through, you know.
Listen, so before you finish, because I like where you're going with this, so I'll tell my first story with Coach Adrian. So this was in high school. We were going to nationals for track, and we were going with, it was Bloomfield, a couple Weaver guys, and I think one person from Windsor, I believe. I know. So yeah, screw Windsor. But
jeez,
I would say me and Coach Adrian, this was the first time I ever met him, didn't know him from Kansas Pain.
Quiet.
And I thought he was quiet, and he said a smart remark to me. So I said, I was smart right back to him. The whole time.
I bet you that was the last time you ever talked back to him.
No, so this is funny. We went back and forth all the way from Connecticut to North Carolina, going all the way back. So we literally, I spat, he spat back. And I don't know what it was about that I have so much respect for this guy. And I never talked back. But he had something about him. He brought it out of me. And see, this goes back to the motivation. I never got like that. And he's seen something in me, and he kept picking at me.
He knows how to bring the best out of everybody.
That's a mentor.
Right. So let me ask take it in another direction in terms of motivation. Us three entrepreneurs, we have all worked shitty jobs.
Yeah.
Right? I don't mean hey.
Yeah,
but
listen.
no, we've all worked shitty jobs. When I was playing soccer, bro, I worked at Town Fair Tire, Eblin's, Uber. I done
Uber gang.
Yeah, like I've done it all. You know what I mean? So what is it about the sacrifice to work those shitty jobs to get to where you want to be? Or where's that motivation factor? Because I think the biggest thing with motivation is sacrifice.
Okay. I think, we're all, black, Puerto Rican, colored, right? So from what I'm used to is that, I've always liked money. I've always liked having money. And if I ever asked, for you to get me something, you said no, my head's like, all right, I just got to go get it on my own, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I always we were talking about before, I always mowed lawns, shoveled, shit like that. Yeah.
We did.
So knowing that from a young age, I could go out and get money on my own, then going to work for someone, it was more so of an institutionalized thing where it's like, all right, I didn't go right to college right after high school. I'm going to work. I'm going to work because I need money. I need money because I need to do things that I want to do. It wasn't until after I progressed in my career and really started networking with certain people where I'm like what? Why do I need to work for? I don't agree with how you run your business. I don't agree. But yet you make the final say.
And there's nothing I can do.
And there's nothing I can do about it. So it's just you know what? I'm here. I'm a pawn in your system, and I've never been built like that. And it's just nah. So this is gonna be a means to an end. And once this is over, I bid thee farewell.
And I'm happy you said that because means to an end is when you're at that shitty situation, at what point do you take that leap of faith? And I know you can speak to this with your brand, that you say, fuck this bullshit job, I'm going to literally just go in on my brand or my
whatever.
Whatever it is. I'm done with this bullshit job. Like you said, I'm tired of following your rules.
Yes.
I'm about to just go all in on me.
It's one of those, like you said, it's a leap of faith that you don't know what's on the other step. And I feel like when I really said, I'm going to do this, I didn't get a loan. Shout out to the people who got PPP loans. Screw y'all took all the money. I got a legit business, LLC and everything.
I hope y'all followed that correctly.
Money. But I took my own money and I said, I'm going to bet on me. You know what I'm saying? And you got to, sometimes you got to bite the bullet and say, hey, if I want to get, closed mouth don't get fed. and you miss 1,000% of the shots you don't take. So I said, I'm gonna take this shot. I'm gonna see where it takes me.
Word.
And I feel like that's what stops a lot of people. They get that stone wall and they say, I can't, or I don't have the money, or I don't. Those are the words that I try not to use don't, can't, all those words, because it's a mindset. You're gonna keep saying that to yourself.
And it's also built into the way that our school system's set up.
Yes.
Oh, don't get me started.
Like the way our school system's so antiquated.
Yeah.
It's not meant for entrepreneurs.
That's a great word.
Big word you
Yo,
use.
I was sitting here like, oh, that's added.
In my head, I was like, oh shit.
Right, I'm gonna have to bust out a little word before I leave.
Shout
like
out
that.
to Gio. What did Gio say on the field on Sunday? He said
man.
invert. No, he said they were invert. He said something that everyone was like, "Yo, that's a big word." I was like,
Oh
yo,
man.
what is that?" But it was crazy. Damn, what was I saying?
Something about
Our school system's so antiquated. So it's like you
Said
wake
it
up.
again.
It's set up for back in the 70s and 80s when everyone's working in factories.
That society and our system in general is not made for us today.
No, so it's like you wake up, you go to class, you sit all day in classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know your receptivity to knowledge is not at its best when you're sitting down? Your blood should be flowing. Like if you're this is why they have standing desks.
That's true.
If you're standing and your blood's flowing, you are way more apt to take in the knowledge that you're learning. So yeah, what you're saying is all built on us going to school, because when you go to school, you have to go to college. And when you go to college, you're going to go to college, get debt, and then once you accrue said debt,
Money.
yeah,
That's what it boils down to.
Now you're going to go work for the remainder of your life to pay off that debt, because supposedly this 6 figures of debt that you accrued in college is going to be the answers to all your prayers.
Right.
Let me ask y'all a question based off what Spencer just said, and education is funded by money, and money makes the world go round. As entrepreneurs, does money motivate y'all?
No.
Yes and no. I'm not gonna say totally. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my brand. I love wearing my brand. I love making the clothes for you
look
guys.
good.
But at the end of the day, I still need some type of money to give y'all more clothes.
Cass, I need
You know what I'm
compensation.
saying?
Buy his
Like,
shit.
He said, "Stop
Listen.
asking for discounts without saying it." I'll say it for him.
Straight up. So, and listen, I'm giving y'all a discount all month. So,
Hey, all June, last of our kind has discounts on everything.
everything.
Go to the link in the bio. So we gonna do this shit big, but
Yeah, so the money aspect of the motivation, like, of course money ain't everything, because at the end of the day, money can't buy happiness. It'll buy you happiness for 5 minutes, couple years, but you see millionaires, trillionaires killing themselves.
Depressed.
fucking
You
shit
know
up.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is that really what you want at the end of the day, to be so wealthy that you can't even recognize yourself anymore? You know, like, I want to be well off. I don't need to be rich. I don't need to be stinking rich. I just want to make sure that I'm comfortable, my family's comfortable, people around me are comfortable, and that's it. So
You know what's funny about that? I'm not motivated by money, but I want a lot of it.
I get it.
No. Like you said, I don't want to be rich. I don't want. No. I want all that shit.
He said, "I want to buy all the sneakers."
I want, and I'm not even a sneakerhead, but I'm like, I want everything, but I don't need much.
so
know
why?
why?
Why do you want everything? Why? Why? do you want
Because I deserve it.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
You know what?
Yo, I like that.
I'm glad you said you deserve it, because we do deserve, right? But to me, there's comfort in money. There's comfort. There's comfort in knowing that I'm sustainable.
I agree.
That I can go to this mall and buy 5 pairs of shoes and I'm good.
Not even
right?
blink.
And
It's not even the 5 pairs of shoes. It's the fact that you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Have
There's
all
comfort
your
in
bills
it.
on auto pay.
I don't have to think
It's a
about
beautiful
it.
thing.
But that's what I'm saying. There's comfort in knowing I'm good.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, think about it. All 3 of us trying to come up right now. If you didn't have to think about money, is that one stress that you could take out of your...
Absolutely.
This is why minorities start at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because you are embedded with that. No matter what, I don't know either of your parents' situations.
My dad is bald.
Cool. I bet you subconsciously at some point in your childhood, money has come up as like an issue or a burden on the family somewhere.
Word. No,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, right. And it's just that is subconsciously an innate place to start behind people who you don't have to think about that. If you don't have to stress money, think of, to your point. Think about how much you can focus on other
what
things.
The fuck you doing?
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
It's like, I don't have to worry about money. Cool, I can do boom, 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 boom. So that's why I say I want all of it, because I also know me. If I'm doing well, everyone around me is gonna do well.
Got it.
Yeah. I'm not a selfish person. So yeah, if I make it, everybody makes it, because I'm going to show you what I did, and I'm going to show you how to do it in your lane, because my lane's not meant for you.
No.
Right.
But I'm going to show you how to do yours.
Right.
Which actually leads me to a question. So, as far as motivation and everything, I think this all comes down to what's your why? Like your overall, what's your why that you do it? Like it's bigger than money.
Right.
It's bigger than goals. It really comes down to it. Every person really needs to sit with themselves and like, what's my why? Because that your wake up every day and it's like, I need to wake up and get it because I have to get it. Why? You know, like what is the light at the end of the tunnel that you're actually seeking? That's really your motivating force to like, no, I can do this every day because I know this is bigger than me.
So I'm gonna let you think on that real quick.
Yeah, you go.
No, because off the top of my head, right? When you say what's my why, I look at my journey.
Yeah.
Right. Went to Bloomfield High. Went to a D3 college.
Shout out to Pathways.
Hey, I heard you. Went to a D3 school. From there, went to England. From there, went to Spain, Croatia, national team. Did what I did, right? I wasn't supposed to make it as far as I did, right? And everything that I do now, with Bigger Than Goals, my training, this podcast, is to make sure that people never have to go through what I went through to get to where I was. Like I was telling you earlier, literally 5 years ago today, I was in Croatia right now jumping off yachts. I showed y'all the videos. You know what I mean? Like we had just finished our season, whatever, right? But that's a blessing.
Amen.
So when you ask me like, what's my why? I want everyone that I come across and touch to experience what I experienced. I don't know what just happened.
It just stopped recording.
Yeah, it literally just stopped recording. But with that being said, you then said, what drives you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now where I'm at now, 28-year-old Jay can no longer allow other people to drive me or the desire to pour into other people to drive me.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? Because
I need you to expand on that. And we back and we live.
Technical difficulties, but like I was saying,
we good. Sorry.
What drives me, in the sense that now, before I was saying I wanted to see everybody good, right?
Yeah.
But now I need that fulfillment. You know what I mean? And I think fulfillment is a big part of motivation and accountability, which we haven't hit on yet. But what fulfills you? What makes you feel like what you're doing is worth it? Because if you don't feel like it's worth it, why should you keep doing this shit?
It's so interesting how you and I have flip-flopped, because you used to do things for your parents and be like, oh my gosh, this fulfills me. Seeing everyone happy around me fulfills me. That's literally what fulfills me now. So like being able to give people the knowledge that the same reason why you do this podcast and why you do all your different businesses. Me being able to give back to my community, to people in any situation, and just give them knowledge of what I've taken in to help better them, to me, that feels great. Like, everyone who becomes a client, like I feel great for them because it's like, yo, listen, I just taught you something that you had no idea about.
Right.
That people have been capitalizing on for a long time.
Years.
Yeah.
And to echo what you're saying, we're gonna bring it up twice in this episode, but I learned the lesson the hard way that you can't always give yourself, right? Because like I was saying, you pour into other people's glass, and then your glass becomes empty, right? So with that being said, I now, once I learned that lesson, am starting to give back to me. If it does not fulfill me, respectfully, disrespectfully, fuck you. I don't like it. So now when I train Bo, I know I'm good. This makes me feel good.
Yeah.
If I don't enjoy training Bo, hey, listen, I want the best for you, but you and I not gonna work out.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That therapy is the same way. People try to go to therapy and they're just talking to the wrong person.
I
like,
would love
therapy
to do an
doesn't work.
episode with that.
Yeah.
About therapy. But that's another conversation.
Yeah, I was about to say therapy. So do y'all think therapy is for everyone?
Yeah,
No.
100%.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I
personally, I do. Yeah.
I don't.
I wouldn't hear both sides of this. Me personally.
Do you think therapy is for everyone?
You know, it's funny. I'm actually right in the middle. I say yes and no.
Okay.
The reason why I say yes, like I said before, I feel like everybody can learn something a little different about themselves. No, as in I feel like some people may have found the right formula that works for them, and they don't need any type of added substance. You know?
To your point, it's always good to have an outlet as someone you need to talk to.
Yeah.
I don't always think that's a therapist. And granted, I'm not saying don't go to therapy. Let me preface this by saying if you need to speak to somebody and you think a therapist is yours, I'm all for mental health and I support it, right? I'm speaking on my own personal, experience, right? Sometimes when you talk to somebody, and I'm going to preface it by saying a story, right? My homeboy today, Kev, shout out Kev, I shouted him out a couple episodes ago.
Masters.
Hey, Master Kev. He texted the group chat and he goes, yo, this is my first haircut from not my barber in 15 years.
Scary.
What do you got? Literally, I'll show you the text before when we're done. He goes, yo, this is scary. What do y'all think of this haircut? Right? And my thought was, I mean, granted, his haircut was good. Right? But we don't normalize being that friend that says, yo, my nigga, that haircut's fucked up. Mike Flows was on Facebook today. Yo, we need to normalize. He said everybody wants to be a rapper now. We need to normalize telling people, yo,
You're trash.
You're trash.
Yeah.
And people are, oh,
And he
you're
will.
hating.
Shout
You're
him
hating.
Nah, I'm keeping it a buck.
Yeah,
with
no,
you.
I'm just
he
keeping it.
keeping
Yo,
it-
you know what I mean?
Yes.
And we need to normalize having somebody to talk to that's going to keep it real.
Yes.
And I've had to tie it back to the therapist conversation. I've had people in my life to say, yo, this therapist said this, said that, or this therapist told my girl that, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, bruh, that's fucking bonkers. You know what I mean? And that's to both of y'all point, finding the right therapist.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I say for some people, shit might work. But it's finding the right therapist or the right outlet, the right person to talk to.
Okay, so you agree everyone needs therapy. They need their own outlet.
Everybody needs an outlet.
Okay.
Whether that outlet is therapy, I don't know.
That's fair. Well, sorry. I'm very pretentious sometimes. Things are therapeutic. That's why. So like going to the gym, that's a therapy.
It's an outlet.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
an outlet.
so when we say therapy,
We're talking about going to like a psychiatrist.
Actual.
yeah,
therapist.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
When in terms of an outlet, yes. Everybody needs an outlet. Yes. Yeah. I was speaking more specifically towards
I get that.
person.
Yeah. Right.
You know, like
Right. And that's my bad.
And I think, I don't know, I feel like, to your point, the person, like, they found a way that works for them, that's very singular. Like, that's very just, you're stuck in your own lane, and you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
you do.
So
Yeah, you do.
you need to talk, like sometimes you just need to talk to someone who's going to challenge you, whether it's a family member, whether you have like your own little support system that's an outlet. I feel like regardless of what, I say this every episode, you don't know what you don't know. So
maybe that's what we put on your t-shirt.
Hey, maybe you don't know what you don't know. Hey, maybe.
I like that.
So just to talk to someone who specializes in it, so like me, I specialize in finances.
Yes.
This isn't your go-to thing. I would talk to a therapist who specializes in psychology, who can specialize in talking to me about things that past traumas that made me the way I am today. I do that naturally, so I don't necessarily need it, but I've spoken to a therapist and I understood the route they were taking. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I get this. I can do this for myself. Right. But I needed to talk to someone first, right? Like, I wasn't just going to unpack that on my own. Maybe, but it probably would have took longer. So it's like, what's your time worth?
I get it.
You know?
Yeah, let me put a tab on that. Well, hold on. Before we put a tab, do you have anything to say about that before we?
I think y'all pretty much conquered everything on that.
All right. No, because I actually would love to actually have a therapist come on here and actually have that conversation with them. But to take everything we said, because I think once you get a therapist is when you start to hold yourself accountable. And that's to tie into the second part of this conversation about accountability. What does accountability look like, and how do you hold yourself accountable? I'll give y'all a second to think about it, but I know when I used to play, right, and Spencer will tell you this first and foremost, I drink like a fish right now, right? Because
you can.
Thank you. Because for so long I was disciplined. I held myself on this tight line, and I didn't. I was straight arrow, right?
Yes.
But now I did what I had to do. But now I was holding myself accountable. Now I can live a little, right? And I feel like a part of accountability is sacrifice.
It is.
Part of accountability is knowing that I have to do X to get to Y. You know what I mean? So for me, what accountability looks like is sacrifice, and also looking yourself in the mirror.
Yes, that's exactly where I was thinking. Yeah.
You know, what do I want? What am I doing? Where am I at? Where am I going? And I think accountability is primarily that, looking in the mirror.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody wants to hit on that or their.
I would say I definitely agree with that. Accountability to me, pretty much, I feel like it's one of those things where you have to take fault when you are messing up. I feel like there's a lot of people like, we ain't perfect. I know damn well I ain't perfect. None of us are perfect. But you got to sit down and really be like, okay, I'm messing up. I need to get right. And I feel like people who don't have the accountability, they're like, well, you messed me up, or God didn't mess me up.
They look for everybody else.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's you have to be accountable for yourself at some point in time in life. And I feel like certain people are lacking in that department.
Yeah,
know?
I think, to your point, I think a lot of people, they're lacking in that department because they're scared to fail. Whereas you should be embracing failure.
Right.
I hate it. Like, my mentor told me, so I'm like, and I was just having this conversation with one of my good friends, Alex, because we were talking about like the different types of players we are. She's more like you, right?
Yeah.
She's not going to talk shit on the field. She's going to let her work ethic do the
Speak for
talking.
herself. Absolutely.
I'm going to work hard off the field so that I can talk shit on the field.
Fuck you mentally.
So it's so like I'm
I'm
going
in
to
your
talk,
head.
bro.
I like that.
I be talking shit to people like back. Like when I was younger and I could take a hit on the line, I used to be talking shit to centers. I'm like, yo, you didn't stop me that play. Like I got by easy. What you gonna do this play? I'm in their ear, right?
Yeah.
So I work hard so that I could talk shit. As far as accountability, I almost forgot your original question, to be honest with you.
Well,
The
no,
segue
it was kind of just like define
What is to you
accountability.
accountability?
What does accountability mean to you?
Just understanding what you want to accomplish. I backwards plan. So at the beginning of the year, I tell myself what I want to accomplish at the end of this year, and then I break it down by month, what I need to do, by week.
You one of them. You organized.
Yo, so yeah, so like when I was running Verizon stores, like I have people who need to hit sales goals, right? I need to hit my own sales goal. So the only way to do this is to systematize how you can do this. So you could literally walk into my store. I put you in a system, like call me Bill Belichick. And it's just like, this is what you're gonna do to be successful. It's really only a few things. You have to be consistent. So yeah, I mentioned failure. Yeah, so like people run away from failure. I hate failing. Like I just failed recently. Like it was a mean punch to the face. Like I don't know if you guys saw me post on Monday.
Did you
like,
fear? Did you fail? Did you learn?
Both. But
so is it a failure?
Yes. Because I failed my initial goal. I learned from it. I'm still mad about it. It's like it still happened. Yeah. It's still like it's probably a hit to my ego. It's like, bruh, like what you mean? Like you like for real? Like
does that motivate you more?
Yes.
Okay.
It does. It lights a fire in me, but I would be lying if I didn't like really sit on it this week. Like, bruh, like that shit really happened. Right. I just hate it. Like I hate failing. I know it's good. I know you learn the most from failing, but yeah, like most people need to embrace it. I'm definitely one of those people who need to embrace it. And not just be like, no, I don't want to fail. It's gonna happen. Like Will Smith says, fail fast, fail forward.
Yo, Will Smith, come on the show, bro.
Please.
I like
no,
that.
go ahead.
No, that was it.
There's I guess one last question, and this is to tie in motivation and accountability from 3 entrepreneurs. The fear, and this is piggybacking off what you just said, the fear of being shut down and the amount of promoting we do, right? So I'll give Spencer a huge shout out and appreciation that a lot of people in the gym that we go to, or just a lot of people in general, didn't know that I had this podcast because I don't like to speak about it, right? And
that's a fact.
And no, but one of my
we talk about it.
no, but I'll tell you why, because I worked so hard with soccer and I talked all the shit when I was on the field.
I get it,
right? But I did it when I was on the field. I'm not one of those people that comes and says, yo, I did this, I did that, I did that. If you didn't ask me or don't know me, you'll never know the things I accomplish. I don't like to talk about it. I just like to let my work of art speak for itself, right? So with that being said, sometimes I don't like to speak about what I'm doing, not because of, I guess, fear of shutting down, like getting shut down like I have here, but just like, I don't know if it's humble, I don't know if it's being shy, which you guys know I'm not shy. You know what I mean? But I just like to let my work speak for itself.
I get it.
You know what I mean? So in terms of motivation, accountability, and getting yourself out there, I don't know if the question is what's the best way to get yourself out there. What is there fear of promoting, fear of, getting shut down? Like,
I think it's what's your conviction behind what you're doing. I know every person I talk to is going to benefit from my conversation.
Right.
So it's like the conviction you could have behind training high school athletes. What if you train the next Leo Messi? What if you train the next Cristiano Ronaldo?
So let me answer that.
And because you didn't put yourself out there, that person no longer is going to meet you, learn from you, and they're going to go a totally different way.
So you know what's crazy? There's athletes that I have right now that like, yo, I see this in you, right? But to me, it's you and me right here.
Yeah.
I don't care about nothing outside. I don't care about getting the money. I don't care about getting endorsements. If you go and make it pro, I pray to God that you take me with you. But if not, it's enough, and that takes me back to the fulfillment, knowing that
I helped you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a place in that. And to me, to tie it all together, that's my motivation. And I think part of my accountability, and I can wholeheartedly say I can do better at this, is knowing that I did my best to help who's ever right in front of me. And I think that's how my way of tying this together, what motivates me and holds me accountable,
is being able to touch the person directly in front of you.
And knowing I got you.
Right.
I don't What you do with this, I don't care. What happens after, I don't care. But I know when you came here today, sitting down with you, I gave you 100%.
Right.
What you do with this, I don't care.
Right.
Whoever watches this episode, I don't care. You saw this. To me, that's enough because I know I gave all of me.
Yeah, and I think that's great. It really depends on how many people you wanna touch, because someone could be listening to this, and I just saw someone repost it from California, and this could really resonate with them, and like, yo, this is the push that I needed to get me through the next 6 months. It's like, we all like to dress, right? So even with your clothing line, you know how you feel when you have you're a model.
Right.
You know how you feel when you have a tight fit on. It's like, yo, you can't tell me shit.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you want people to feel that way when they put your clothes on.
Oh, yeah.
And that happens on a grand scale. There's a reason why people wear Nike, just do it. I mean, yeah, it's just popularized on social media, but people feel good when they look good.
Right.
You could be making more people feel good other than that one person that you can touch in front of you. By spreading the word of what you do and how you help others, you can help more on a grand scale. And just so happens, you probably get compensated on the back end for doing what you love.
Right.
Hashtag do what you love. I do it all.
You
see it. So,
man.
I like that.
I mean, yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
Man. I don't know. Kind of, I feel like we're all over. What's the original question?
Where does, when it comes to being afraid of getting shut down, and your fear of promoting and talking about your brand?
Got you.
Speak on that, I guess.
I feel like you're gonna get shut down 1,000 times, but it's that one yes that you're looking for that will make it all worth it. I would say, like I'll be on Instagram sometimes, and I ask millions of promoters, be like, yo, promote my brand. Sometimes I get seen. Sometimes I don't even open the message. Or that one person that opened, be like, sure, I'll promote your brand. I'll do this for you. And it's like, it all, at the end, it makes it worth it. So I feel like, yeah, at the end of the day, screw them. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little selfish of me, but I want them to be like, dang, he asked me to promote. Dang, he wanted me in that clothing line. And now you missed the train because we already done took off. And now you want to get on.
Talk that shit.
You know, that's the motivation for me. I'll be like, all the naysayers and the people who are just like, oh, you couldn't do this. Oh, this trash. It's not enough. You can't do this. All the people that are putting you down just to get to that one point to where you're like, I did it and I did it my way, I think makes it all worth it.
I love that. And that ties back to the first thing I said. That's wild. It ties back to the first thing I said on the podcast today about the Marriott and Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
So Coca-Cola, I know you guys probably, I worked at the Marriott, so I know this story. When the owner, Mr. Marriott, whatever his first name is,
Jerry.
he was looking for funding when he was starting his hotel brands. He went to Coca-Cola, and they nicely told him to fuck off. Pepsi did not. You will never see Coca-Cola in a Marriott. Ever.
Yo, I never thought of that.
You will never go to a Marriott.
Go to the Marriott.
And you will never, a country, like anything affiliated with the Marriott, you will never see a Coca-Cola product.
Yo, see?
Like, hold that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I need that type of pettiness. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to make enough money so I have 50 cent type of petty.
Well, shit. Don't nobody need to be that petty, but hey, man, we've been chopping it up for a little over an hour, and this shit was love. I hope that everybody's been somewhat motivated, somewhat gained some sort of insight on this episode, because I think there's strength in vulnerability. And when you allow people to see into you, especially as an entrepreneur, entrepreneurs are always looking for inspiration everywhere else. And that's kind of what, to me, this episode was about. Just
strength and vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
You know, just allowing people to see, like, you got to, for lack of a better term, shoot your shot.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're doing. So, like we like to do, 15 seconds of fame. Talk your shit, whatever you got to say. We'll give you your 15 seconds, and then bang, 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 and then wrap it up.
Whoop,
All right. So before I leave, guys, like I said before, last of our kind, we are doing a Yeezy raffle. So basically, for every one product, you get 2 tickets. You get a whole sweatsuit, you get 4 tickets. So it's literally the Yeezys. I wish I had them on me to show you guys, but we're celebrating Juneteenth all June. So like I said, the sale, if you buy any part, and we're going to release the winner at the end of June. So get those Yeezys, guys.
Dope. Listen, everybody, stay motivated. Like Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. So once you get punched in the face, make sure you take that hit, you learn from it, and you keep pushing. I'm speaking to myself right now, but I'm sure this is going to resonate with somebody. And like Jacob said earlier in the week, the times that you don't want to do things that you know are necessary is where you build your character. That's where you really dig deep and you're like, nah, this is what I'm made of.
Yeah.
You know I don't want to do this right now. Mm-hmm. Everything's telling me I shouldn't, but I know it needs to get done.
Absolutely.
Word.
I like that.
I got 2 15 seconds of fame. My shit is going to turn to 30 seconds of fame because this is our shit, so I'm going to talk about shit. First of all, I genuinely have to shout out Spencer. Today I found myself, or this week, as you guys know by now, this is my financial advisor. I found myself actually being responsible and going to the bank and dropping off money and getting into better habits than I had been with my own money. And truth be told, I'm not saying that because he's sitting right here with me. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have those habits. Mm-hmm. The same amount of money that I'm making right now, I've been making it for the last fucking year. And it wasn't until I sat down with him that he was like, yo, my nigga, do you realize how much money you're wasting? So for that, like, bro, I really appreciate you for not only like checking me in life, but also elevating this podcast to another level. Because I believed in this for a year and a half, and you said, hey, I want to get in a podcast, but since you've been here, you've believed in this platform. So I genuinely appreciate you and where this is going. Wherever it goes, like this hour that we've been sitting here on a Friday, I'm always remember this. You know what I mean? Wherever life takes me, like, to me, like I was just saying, in terms of fulfillment, this is cool for me.
Yeah.
So I know our friendship's gonna outlast this podcast and wherever life takes us. So I wanted to give you your flowers while you can smell them and genuinely say I appreciate you.
Smell's gonna make me cry.
Hey, listen, I'm a Libra. I'm an emotional.
Big Libra gang.
You're a Libra too?
Hell yeah.
Hey, gang, when's your birthday?
I started off September 23rd.
Oh, man, October 13th. Gang. Give me my birthday gifts.
February 10th. Shout out all Aquarius.
My second one, and I actually had something, but in terms of motivation and accountability, hold yourself to the highest standard possible. You might not be confident in it, but when I tell you, you never know who's watching your journey and is inspired by you. Hold yourself by the highest possible standard you can, because that's something to reach for and that's something to inspire others by. Yes. With all that being said, this is going to air next Friday, or today, June 11th. June 12th, I have a pop-up shop over at Get and Get Fit.
Yeah.
Is it 31 Toby? You gonna be there too?
I'm gonna be there now.
Hey, I think it's 31 Toby. I'll put the address.
31 Toby Road, yeah.
There you go. Show up. Bigger than goals. I don't know how many of you guys know I have my own soccer training business that I'm worried about building players mentally, physically, and emotionally, and helping them do what I didn't have when I was a player. I'm going to be there from 3 to 7, show up, show out, and just have a good time and continue to grind with whatever the fuck you guys want to do in life. So I took more than 30 seconds. I'm sorry.
Can I get 10 more seconds?
Yeah.
Nigga, take 20.
All right. I just wanted to say I wanted to thank them for having me on the show. So I always wanted to say my appreciation for my people is not because y'all my boys, but because y'all are businessmen, black entrepreneurs, and we're looking out for each other. So I just think what y'all doing is really dope, and I appreciate y'all having me on the show, man.
Bro, we appreciate you coming.
And shout out Bo. This is the last of our kind of a fucking episode, and y'all ain't never gonna see this shit again, and that's a fucking wrap.
Gang, gang.
Hey. And we back.
We have to shout out the true MVP of this evening.
Yes.
Is Jen.
Real MVP.
Jen! She... Come here. Come here.
No.
She listen, talk your shit, King.
Nah, she's coming with the little ones. So, like we were saying,
I can't wait to fade out on the shot.
like we were saying, we're doing the podcast, and Jen has been keeping the kids under wraps. So, Jen, come on to the camera.
Say hello. Oh,
say hello.
Listen,
come on.
hold on. Let me talk my shit. This is Dr. Jen right here.
Oh, yeah.
I've known Jen since I was... Jen, how long we been knowing each other? 10, 11 years old? 11. Dr. Jen held it down tonight. We invited her just so she could get a background scenes into the shit. We have some kids that we're watching today. She held it down. So Jen, we owe you a shot or two after this.
We do.
Please and thank you.
Absolutely.
Jen, we really did not mean this, but this is the shit that we were talking about being good. Yes. Talk your shit, King. Yes. Listen, that's what we're about. Wholesomeness, happiness, love. Jen, thank you. This is our shout out. We're recording right now. This is going on YouTube. She said, fuck you, Jacob.